goodness.
Joey writes with pens and pencils a lot.
That's so not true. When I was talking about writing, I was talking about
Unofficial
the
title.
act of creating words.
Oh, you create words?
Welcome to the Monday Morning Podcast, the Worship Hangover. Who are you?
Joey's got.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Dallas.
Oh, I'm Joey.
I'm Zach. Man,
Oh
Joey
my
is
gosh.
Joey's getting the full force of Monday today.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I'm tired.
Why?
I don't
What'd
know.
you do?
Mondays and Thursdays, I always feel like I got hit by a freight train.
Thursday's a good reason for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mondays are like that too, because
Yeah.
small groups and stuff. So
Got you.
My
Goes
kids went
late.
back to school today.
It's great.
It is
It is
great, but
amazing.
also it takes like
oh
a bunch
yeah,
of effort to get them out of bed.
Alpha at one point this morning, about 6:30 this morning, Alpha comes in and says to me, "I'm so out of practice." I was like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "Getting the kids to school."
Yeah, it's just a week ago we did it,
Okay.
but
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
we got them to school okay. But
Yeah.
I had to bribe them with some hot cocoa and tea.
One of our kids forgot to set his alarm clock, and we caught it 22 minutes late. And so
Woof.
you know. That's
So you had 22 minutes less time to get ready. Oh
Uh-huh.
man.
Yep.
Sorry, Boaz.
Wasn't him.
Just kidding.
You go down the line.
Sorry. Sorry, Justice.
Ding ding ding.
Oh, poor guy.
Yep.
Poor
He
guy.
was fine with it. He's the one that leaves the last, so it's no big deal.
Mm.
Does he come with you?
He does. He I drop him off and then come here. Yep.
I think we should talk about the title.
What's the title?
The title is "We Can Say
We can say Christmas now.
Hey, we can say Merry Christmas now.
Merry Christmas
We
now.
can.
That was really funny when you just walked up there and said, "Are you guys gonna kill me if I say this?"
Yeah, right.
Can I?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
is that allowed?
I know.
And-
People are brutal about it.
Dude,
though.
they
really are.
like brutal.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
mess around.
Yeah. Some people are like anti-Mariah Carey, I think.
Can I just make a confession?
Please.
I put my Christmas lights up multiple weeks ago.
Did
like
you?
Many weeks ago.
That's because you're intelligent and it was warm enough.
It was warm enough, and now it is not warm enough, and I do not want to put anything else
Yeah,
up.
exactly.
We have a couple more things. I
Nobody
think.
wants to fall off the roof whenever it's snowing, right?
Do you have a timer for your lights, or do you have to go out and plug it in?
Yeah. who
No,
doesn't?
I'm not a. Wait, never mind.
Because I thought about that, but like, what if?
I was gonna say I'm not.
What are you
I'm
gonna
not a
call me,
chump.
Zach? What are you
I was
gonna
gonna say
call
I'm not
me?
a chump.
What you
but-
about to call me right
I
now?
don't even say that word, but it just
Yeah.
felt right for the moment. But then I was like,
We-
no, I gotta bail.
Sensing a tad bit of hostility at this table.
We used smart outlets for all of our Christmas lights.
So I did, but then this year I bought smart Christmas lights,
Yeah.
and it was
Fancy.
Yeah, so they are they're not really like pixel lights, if you guys know what pixel lights are, but they can do similar things to that.
Yeah.
So in the way that they are programmed, so they can flash,
was
change colors.
Really tempted to buy the Govee. Govee has like this
They went on sale
the
too.
like wall fake LED wall Christmas lights. Have you seen this?
I actually have not seen that.
Yeah,
but
it's
they have a
pretty-
lot of stuff.
You
It's
know
like-
how Zach feels about LED walls.
It's like 8-bit. It's like 8-bit LED wall. It's pretty great. And I was really because they were on sale for a good price this year. I was really tempted to buy one and stick it outside.
That'd be cool.
Are you saying I could put that on the back wall of our stage and it would
It would be.
it would satiate our LED wall?
Satiate.
No,
Wow,
because it
what a
wouldn't
word.
do at all what you're wanting to do with
Oh,
an
okay.
LED wall.
Okay,
It's
never mind.
it's like a very pixelated pumpkin and a very pixelated Christmas tree. And a very, you know what I
yeah.
mean? It's total 8-bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
still be cool though.
Hmm.
Maybe even 4-bit. I don't know.
My extensive Christmas decoration, which was early.
Yeah.
It was early November. I went to Walmart. I saw a light.
Wow.
I said, "Oh,
These are
that'll
mine
look-
now.
That would be cool."
Yeah.
Put that in my cart.
Although-
Then I saw a $40 Christmas tree.
Although, don't you have a Christmas
also-
tree in your office?
That is, I never thought that I would. Your son came up to me on Sunday and goes, "Joey, have you been to your office?" since you
Oh,
got married?"
And he ruined it.
He ruined it.
He did. I knew there was something waiting for me.
He ruined
Man, what?
And I go,
Boaz.
What a chump.
I know.
In the words of Zach,
Those are not even my words.
they are now.
You
Those
said
aren't
that.
my
Everybody
words.
put something that Zach would call a chump in the comments.
Oh, that's a good one. Sometimes I don't like make it back to like look at the other comments, but I will have to now.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, so
That's
good.
great.
Yeah, no, he came up. Yeah, he's like, you should, and he had that like
Yeah.
weird.
I'm
smile.
not doing anything face.
Yeah. So he did that, and I walked in. I said, "Why is there a yellow Christmas tree in my office?" And it's not even like like purposefully yellow. I don't think it's the kind of yellow that is like it was
Vintage.
white at one point.
It looks like my tea bag. It's a turmeric tea bag.
I don't even think it's more like the cup.
I'll have to go
stained
look
by
at that
your
tree.
yellow tea.
Where do you get the tree?
I have no idea. I
Hmm.
think that they looked in our big warehouse.
He said it was in the warehouse.
Oh,
and they
yeah.
said, "Oh, that's been here since the 90s." Let's put it in Joey's office. And here's the thing. I'm too lazy to put it away.
Here's the deal.
Well, I
wouldn't
mean,
be
you're
mad about having even a yellow Christmas tree in my
you're decorated
office.
for
It's
Christmas already.
Yeah, but yellow's my least favorite color.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Yellow's my favorite color.
I know.
That's
We-
crazy.
We can say Christmas now, Joey.
We can say Christmas. We can
That's
even
a
say
word
Merry
we can
Christmas
use.
if we want to.
Yeah, maybe.
And people can't get mad at us about that.
Yeah,
Did
they
you
can't
guys
call
ever-
you a chump.
So on this
Huh?
along this topic of like we can say Christmas now, do you guys get mad when people say Happy Holidays?
No.
I don't get mad at all.
Why? Why?
I don't get mad at all.
Because there's so many holidays that I'm celebrating.
So I don't. Maybe call me crazy.
Okay.
Okay. I don't get mad when people who don't believe the same things I believe don't affirm the things that I believe.
Ooh.
That doesn't make me mad.
I didn't even
Nor
get-
does it surprise me,
Yeah.
and I don't feel like it should.
I don't even think I got that far.
Yeah.
Like because they're like maybe now
I
we're past Thanksgiving, but it's like
I actually think from a company, like we're a church, we're not a company. We're a totally different thing, right?
Yeah.
But if you own a company, it's maybe kinder to say Happy Holidays because
Yeah.
there are a lot of holidays.
Yeah.
Now I love Christmas. I want to say Merry Christmas, and I do say Merry Christmas to people. But I understand why a giant corporation that serves a huge
Yeah.
cross section of,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Why they
Yeah.
would say Happy Holidays.
I mean it's
I
gonna
think
make
it's-
sense.
Where
yeah.
I think it turns a dumb corner is when everything that is a Christmas thing gets called like these are now holiday lights and this
Holiday
is
tree.
now a
Oh,
holiday
yeah.
tree and this is
Yeah.
you know what I mean, and that's where I go
It's a
okay,
holiday
this is
Santa.
this is like foolishness,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, as far as like the coffee cup says Happy Holidays, hey, great, thanks for recognizing that it's the
Yeah.
holiday season.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Especially when it's talking about a whole season.
that's a
you
hot
know.
take, I think.
That is a hot take. But it's one that I feel like maybe we're not totally done with, but I heard somebody say Happy Holidays and I had to like check myself.
Yeah.
And so I mean not, like I was
Yeah.
like, "Ooh, how do I feel about that?" Oh, I feel fine about it.
Yeah.
It was like that long. It was just actually it was like the Salvation Army lady that was ringing the
Yeah.
bell at Walmart.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Yeah. So she was just like, "Happy Holidays." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, that shouldn't offend us."
Did you make that face when you said it? Because
No.
that would have been great.
Oh, I
No,
don't
I
care.
didn't. I did not.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I don't know.
I did not, but I feel like that's maybe something that I don't know if you guys think about that on the other end of this other side of this camera.
Change
Yeah.
the title
What's-
to
What's
you
your thoughts
can
on the
say
Happy Holiday
Happy
debacle? I don't think it's
No.
it's as big of a thing anymore. I think
Yeah.
I think the people who were really vocal about it have maybe realized that that's a hill that they've lost.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know?
Or maybe a hill that shouldn't have been a hill.
Right.
Like what was that making mountains out of molehills?
Oh, definitely.
we talked about that
Definitely.
maybe a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big deal. Like maybe that's the bigger mountain is that we're making it a deal.
Now we as a church, we're going to say Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't
Because-
worry.
Because that's the
The thing we're celebrating.
It's a cultural
that's the
thing.
prevalent
Yeah.
holiday of
Yeah.
our faith in this
Yeah.
season.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
So-
you can say that now.
yeah, you can, and people can't even get mad. You can turn your radio to 98.3, and nobody can look at you with like cross eyes right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's
Who
good.
doesn't want to listen to some Bing Crosby right
Dude.
now? For real.
Yeah.
Joey doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like to cross my
Is the
eyes.
word behold a King James word, Joey?
Oh, good Lord. No. Oh my goodness. Okay. Here's the thing. A lot of I made this observation before we started the podcast.
By the way, is Behold, who sings Behold?
You want to take one guess?
I'm going to guess it's Phil Wickham,
Yes.
Joey's favorite artist.
Well, it might be. He's probably not.
You know what? I went to a Phil Wickham and Brandon Lake concert, and you know what Brandon Lake said?
What?
He said that Phil Wickham is amazing at making modern songs sound like hymns.
Phil Wickham is amazing at making modern songs sound like pop music.
Anyways,
He's deep into pop right now.
He is.
He
Phil
is.
Wickham is Chris Tomlin for 2020s. That's what Phil Wickham is.
which is that's a cold take. Like that's
man.
so true.
It just makes me more excited for the 2030s. That's all it does, guys.
Well, who's he gonna be?
I don't know.
Tell me now.
Not Phil Wickham.
Brandon Lake,
No.
the
Probably not.
transitions.
I think Brandon Lake is in the same generation as Phil Wickham,
It's
even
still-
though he's coming out with
It's
Because-
some-
2024 right
but
now.
think
It's
about
gonna
this-
be someone
But
we
think
don't know
about
yet.
this, Phil Wickham back in the like a few years ago, he was doing stuff while Chris Tomlin was. And it was
Yeah.
popular.
Who-
But now he's old.
Brandon Lake.
No.
No.
Phil Wickham.
Oh, Phil Wickham. Yes.
Now he's old and he's doing like the kind of I don't know what he's doing, but it's working. And so Brandon Lake,
He's doing the
maybe
formulaic
maybe
music
he'll
of
maybe
CCM
Brandon
for
Lake
this generation.
Maybe-
That's what he's doing.
And maybe that's it. Yeah.
yeah.
But like some of the stuff, like I still have to choose as a
Yeah.
worship minister. I still have to like make the decision of like,
Yeah.
will this work for our church? And a lot of
Phil
the stuff that he
Wickham
does
works.
not work for
that dog a hunt.
Capital West.
Who? Brandon Lake?
No, Phil Wickham.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
though there's a lot of stuff like Christmas, I feel like he nailed Christmas in a lot
Yeah.
of ways.
Sure.
From his past to
Sure.
present, like there's a lot of stuff that just I feel like makes sense and feels right. But
Yeah. And I think that's a great aspect of your role that I think gets underlooked by most people
Oh
who
man.
try to give you a song to do
Yeah.
is that you have the largest responsibility to decide amongst our staff, amongst our leaders, to decide if a song fits this congregation or not. Like I'm an old man now, so it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter if the songs fit me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you have the job to decide if they fit the congregation or not. Like
yeah,
like this church house and the vision and values of this church.
something that happened to me while I was at
Mm-hmm.
Hillsboro was I chose Christmas music and I chose it in a specific way because I've done different things at different
Yeah.
times where I've chosen like regular songs, which are kind of doing that a little
Yeah.
bit this year, just not yet. But we have some songs that we're introducing and like maybe one that we've been doing that I'm going to apply in our minds to Christmas.
Yeah,
If that makes sense.
That makes sense.
So it's almost like we're not doing this song, but there's a song called "Waiting Here for You,"
Yeah.
and it's like not a Christmas song. It's
Yeah.
waiting for Jesus' second coming.
Yeah.
But when you like sing it at Christmas time, it transforms your mind into thinking, "Oh, we're waiting for Jesus the
So-
first time."
So two of my I'm admittedly the generation preceding you. So like two of my favorites who you actually don't really care for, and I respect that. But like Matt Mayer and
Oh, yeah.
and oh goodness, Paul Baloche.
And I've sang a lot of their songs.
Yeah.
You know.
So that was what, if you go back and listen to their Christmas albums that they released back then,
Oh,
that's exactly what they did. They would bring in like the choruses from the songs that were really resonating with their congregation all year and
Oh, yeah.
attach them to Christmas music and stuff. And so it's really something that that's not a new idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
a great way to incorporate what we always sing
Yeah.
and bring it into the Christmas canon.
Yeah.
So the thing that I realized as I was like choosing this like alternative method of Christmas music from, hopefully people from church are actually watching this right now because I feel like this is helpful to understand
Yeah.
like perspective, I guess.
So
but
it's a very cool look behind the scenes.
Yeah.
yeah, so I realized one day like there are little kids in the congregation who I'm forming their Christmas memories
Yes, exactly.
through the music, and I was like, oh no,
Yeah.
Like-
Your kids.
Yeah.
and my kids, but this was before this
Yeah.
was when Abel didn't
Yeah.
even know.
Oh,
how to-
gotcha.
talk. So, but yeah, so like I realized that, and I felt like the full weight of that, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like this is like I could be making or breaking that for someone, and honestly, separating generations from what Christmas,
Yeah.
the idea of Christmas should be,
Yeah.
because their parents experienced
Right.
maybe Christmas hymns,
Yeah.
and they're experiencing like "He Shall Reign Forevermore" and "Noel" by
Yeah.
Lauren Daigle. Like that was kind of the stuff that
Yeah.
we did 5 years ago, you know. So, but that was a scary thought, and I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't really know how to like.
Yeah.
deal with
Noel
it.
by Lauren Daigle deserves to be on everybody's Christmas playlist.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
that song is great.
yeah.
So
It's so good.
it's beyond church pop.
Yeah,
It's just good music.
and like what's happening there.
Like
Yeah.
like
That's-
He Shall Reign is fine song.
Yeah,
But it's church pop.
yeah. It's church pop. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So Noel,
That's hard
I
for you.
think-
I've hardly ever heard you say that.
Yeah.
There's a big moment that just happened, people.
Yeah. I mean, if you behind the scenes, like I'm very critical of church pop.
Yes, he
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
That's crazy.
So I think what's happening there is that song starts out in a minor feel
Yeah, it
and
does.
swaps to a
Mhm.
major feel, and that's a big deal.
Whoa.
Yep. It sure
And so
does.
actually the weirdest song we did yesterday was "O Come, O Come,
Yeah,
Emmanuel."
which I love. That's like my
Oh, man.
favorite Christmas hymn. That was a hymn. There you go.
See, told
That's
you.
my favorite Christmas hymn.
I feel naked playing that song though.
Yeah, for sure. But I think the reason why I love
I
that
just feel
hymn,
seen because it's like it's out of my personal genre.
it's all
Oh,
of the
yeah.
expectation, though, man.
Yeah, it's
like
so
it's
good.
all of the expectation. And I love that.
Yeah.
So, and I think that Christmas is this opportunity. I actually think Christmas is the season of the year when the church is most harmonious in worship. That's
For
my hot
sure.
take. And
I
I think it's because there is so much hymn element that connects.
Yeah.
It connects the older generations, but also like if you grew up in church when I did, I mean the worship wars happened when I was graduating high school. You
Yeah.
know, and going into college,
Yeah.
and getting my first job. So like we
Yeah.
were predominantly hymns, maybe
Yeah.
some old Hosanna, you know, or Vineyard UK.
yeah.
You know, and whatever. And so like I think there's it unifies the generations, I think, around stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
It's
it
crazy.
is. I noticed that. Like I noticed the first week we did one Christmas song.
Yeah.
Not this past week, but
Yeah.
the week before.
Yeah.
It was loud.
Yeah.
Not because of the music, but because everybody was singing. And I was like, this is interesting.
Yeah.
And that is why I say like Christmas
Mhm.
comes and everybody who's been asking for hymns all year round gets their way, because it's just there's a lot of rich history and songwriting for those.
Yeah, and my hope in all the songs that we're doing is that they can become an anthem that we can sing together. And it's
Yeah.
hard. It's a hard thing to balance because you only have 4 or 5 weeks to do it.
Yeah.
And so like we're doing some songs from last year. We're doing one called Manger Throne,
Yeah.
which is Phil Wickham, and Behold, and some of those just feel like good anthems to worship
Yeah.
Jesus in his coming. So there's one song that we aren't doing that I don't know. I feel sad, but at the same time, like it's a hard song. It's just super hard, and it's called Arrival. Have you heard that song? It's by Hillsong, and Matt Crocker sings it, and that is one that's worth looking up.
I might have heard it. I heard one the other day that I know we're not doing, and I was like, oh man, I wish we were.
It's just rich theology. And
Yeah.
what song are you talking about?
I can't
Okay.
remember. I'm bad at song
Okay.
names.
Okay.
I listen
Well-
to songs, and if I really want to remember the name, I take a screenshot.
Yeah, I
I
mean, we
think,
can
I think you should sing it for everybody.
I know.
right here, right.
No, I don't think I will.
Yeah. So if you think of that, let me know, because as much as I decided a list,
I think it's
know.
too late to add it in. Just because I know how hard Christmas Christmas music is not easy.
Yeah.
And even some of the modern Christmas songs are still hard because they
Oh, Come, O Come,
incorporate
Emmanuel
they
is that.
incorporate a lot of the old stuff, you know, that we just don't play a lot.
they play the full scale, and
Yeah.
then you might do a minor, and then it's over.
Yeah. And so for me, it's like, even if I find a song today that I'm like, man, we should be doing this, I'm not going to be mean to our worship team. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, and they do a good job, and
Yeah.
we aren't a church that
Yeah.
says no music on stage, so we use iPads, and I think that's reasonable because
yeah,
a lot of people are playing once or twice a month, and
Yeah.
so to get all this music, like
yeah,
it's hard to memorize it all, and so
yeah,
and like even like I going into Christmas music, like I've made it a goal of myself not to try to use music, and
yeah.
man,
Yeah, that's
I was
rough, 'cause
working
there's a
hard
lot of
this week.
changes
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Christmas music.
Only and for a month.
but
Yeah.
it feels so good, like really just to come back to O Come, O Come, Emmanuel. It
Yeah.
has a really nice like poetic flow of chords. Nobody
Yeah.
thinks about this. I'm sorry,
No,
but the flow of the chords
We
is
care.
very nice.
but if you spend all year playing happy
Yeah.
poppy music, and then you play that song, it feels good because it feels different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
something about that.
I think I do remember sitting in service, like almost like waking up during it, almost like this is a little different.
Because we went from
In a
Here
good
Comes Heaven
way.
to like heavy guitar,
Yeah.
somewhat heavy guitar.
Somewhat heavy guitar.
Well, I think just too like the minor scales and
Yeah.
like the
It goes,
there's
Yeah.
more there's a little
Why
more
am I
tension
sad
in
right now?
the song.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Man, but Christmas is good though. Like
It
just
is.
overall, and
Yeah.
something I talked about last year was just the way that our world kind of slowly transforms into Christmas,
Oh,
and
yeah.
lights go up slowly,
Mhm.
and it's just like all leading up to this one monumental moment.
Right.
And I think that's like, yeah, I think that's like a really cool aspect of Christmas.
You know, we Saturday it was snowing and cold and everything,
man.
and we were setting up our Christmas tree and and all that stuff.
You did it
know.
in the snow?
Well,
Oh,
we-
well, inside.
yeah.
Okay, never mind.
No, I did it in the warmth of my house.
Sorry, I heard and stuff, and I was thinking lights outside.
No, they were already done. We
Okay.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
good.
Because again,
I just had
Do those when it's warm.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were setting up our tree and all the decorations inside and everything, and it was just like a great family moment, you know. And then that night, we live in St. Martin's, and so St. Martin's does a tractor parade every year, and so it's like lit tractors.
That sounds so fun.
It's so cool. And then people, it's maybe like a mile and a half long parade. And so people will walk the whole thing and just like hand you candy or whatever to like kids and stuff.
Nice.
And so we went over to some friend's house and just, watched that and hung out. And it was just, and the kids played snowball fights. Like it was like the perfect winter day,
Dude.
Yeah. So good stuff.
I bought a sled
Did
the
you?
other day.
Yeah. You
A
could
few
use the
weeks
sled
ago.
around here when it snows.
Oh no!
You could use one of those if it ever snows.
When it snows, I
Yeah.
can use it.
I-
It's snowing right now.
So
actually.
I read, who
Oh,
knows how
man.
true it is, but
I
I
love
read
it.
the Farmer's Almanac is predicting a white Christmas.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
I've had a couple of those in my life. And
As long as that doesn't mean a blizzard on Christmas Eve.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Geez,
Will we stream it?
I can get some crazy.
I don't know.
I don't
We can
know.
talk about that later.
We'll talk about it when it comes.
Yeah.
Oh geez.
So we started a series called Echoing Incarnation,
Yeah.
which is kind of hard to wrap your mind around
Yeah.
if you just like, what is this about?
Yeah.
So, but I think it's the echo is our prayers, right?
Yeah.
Is that the
That's the echo.
yeah? So like I put that like I fully put that together yesterday. I was like, oh man, this is us praying
Yeah.
and just continuing to repeat that
Yeah.
like I don't know, coming of Jesus, the incarnation.
Because God is still with us. Like
Yeah.
I think that's the part that gets lost
Yeah.
in our well, kind of what you were talking about earlier. There is an exaggeration, I think, of the Christmas season in church where we focus on this as the season where God came to be with us, right?
Yeah.
Emmanuel, God is with us.
Yeah.
And we lose sight of the fact that for the believer, those who have placed their faith in Christ, those who have given themselves to Him, followed His his call into baptism, He has placed His Holy Spirit inside of us.
Yeah.
So God is still with us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all the time. And so when we connect with Him in prayer, when we connect with God in prayer, like we are echoing the incarnation. We are reliving these things,
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's kind of where the name came from.
Yeah, and it's just crazy. 2,000 years later, we're still remembering, we're still worshiping, we're still like it's not something that went out of style
Yeah.
in 10 years. It's something that has made giant ripples, if not like
Yeah.
what tsunamis
Yeah.
of waves toward today. And so
Yeah.
And I do think it's it's always helpful to think about in the holiday season that God is with you, because you get so caught up and distracted.
Yeah.
In trying to create this experience.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to create a good day for your families, or trying to figure out all of the travel plans and balance all of the family
Yeah.
stuff. Like I think it is so important to think about, like what you said, like it's not just like this time isn't necessarily like nothing's changed.
Yeah.
Like, God is with us.
Yeah.
God was with us before this past week.
Yeah.
Before
exactly.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You know, and so you know, I think that, you know, it's what's great about holidays is that they can be a time to celebrate and refresh.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, holidays are so important in the Bible.
Right.
All
Yeah.
over it. You know, feasts and that kind of thing, and parties. Dude.
Rachel said this yesterday, and I just forget about this.
Yeah.
But there's a Christmastime. Like December is like this time of anticipation,
Yeah.
and then you actually hit Christmas. And if I may be saying this wrong, but the 12 days of Christmas begins
Yeah.
on Christmas.
Yeah.
So then it's like the celebration begins
Ah.
when Jesus comes, not the end, which is
Right.
normally how we treat it. Christmas is there, and then like Valentine's Day stuff goes up in the grocery stores.
Yeah.
So, but it's really
Well,
like
New Year's.
yeah, New Year's,
stuff's already
yeah,
up,
yeah.
probably.
So
That's true.
so it's like really.
Yeah.
I mean, and maybe that's fitting. Christmas to
Yeah.
New Year's
Yeah.
being kind of a celebration week, but
Yeah.
then like you eventually go toward life of Jesus and then on your way to Easter, and so it's like sometimes it feels like we're just going, and then Christmas is like I got my presents. Let's
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
figure
Let's
out something
move
else to do.
on.
Yeah.
Let me. Yeah, I got all the stuff I want. Let me figure out what I want to cut out.
Yeah. And so it's really like this progression of
Yeah.
of like us celebrating, and
Yeah.
so
Which is why we're doing that. We are treating this season like Advent this year. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And which is not a typical Christian church thing to do,
Mhm.
right?
It's true.
well maybe
I mean, maybe.
I think maybe
It's
it's
becoming
shifting.
more
Yeah,
common.
it is.
Because it was an overcorrection.
Yeah.
I think to
Yeah.
not.
Mm.
Yeah.
We were.
Yeah.
I think our movement was trying to disassociate itself from anything liturgical.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
in
We have a guy in our life group who understands like Catholic culture.
Yeah.
I think he went to a Catholic church for a while and
yeah.
was talking about like the Advent, because we did like
Yeah.
an Advent focus thing
Yeah.
at life group last night, and he was talking about what the candles are called, because I've always known them as like hope, peace, joy, love, Christ.
Right.
And then he was talking about them in different words, and I had to stop and go, hold on a second, like
What are you talking
say that
about?
again. And then we connected them, and like the hope, peace, joy, love, Christ are like the easy words,
Yeah.
but then like the Catholic words are like prophecy,
Mm-hmm.
Bethlehem, shepherds, like
Oh,
the candle of
interesting.
the candle of prophecy, the candle of Bethlehem, the candle of shepherds, the candle of
Yeah.
oh man, I don't know what they are, but it was cool because they like
Yeah.
prophecy was
Yeah.
like we're gonna talk about the the past and
Yeah.
how it connects to the future and to
Yeah.
Revelation, really.
Yeah.
And so that hope is
Mhm.
wrapped up in all of those things, and I was
Right.
like, man, that's cool. So
Yeah.
we've swung a pendulum the wrong way instead of
Yeah.
of just deleting the pendulum.
And that's a very normal, like, it's typical in all fronts, right? You know, I mean, we do it in a lot of avenues of our
Yeah.
life, but that's been an overcorrection, I think, of our tradition for a long time.
Yeah.
So we're focusing on Advent this year because I want people to be in expectation, but I don't necessarily want people to be in expectation of December 25th. I want people to be in expectation of a relationship with a God who has come to be with us. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of why we're doing what we're doing. And so the prayer journal that we gave out yesterday to
Yeah.
accompany the series is really my heart's desire with that prayer journal. Even if you start going through it and you're like, you know what, I don't want to do this day's thing, but I still want to spend
Yeah.
time praying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's about like giving people a pattern to build a habit to allow them to connect with and expect God to fulfill His promises.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's really the desire. And so, you know, today's was reflecting on like the humble entry of Jesus, right? Is today's movement in the journal. The journal started yesterday. They're dated December 1st, 2nd. And what I thought was interesting at my life group last night, we have a couple of babies. One really new baby in
Yeah.
the group.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
really? Yeah.
Yeah, and so it was interesting, like listening to that mom talk about how she's like I'm really just connecting with like the fact that God entered humanity like this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, as
Yeah.
and whatever, and just the humility that it took for him to be in this form of human.
Human.
Yeah, human. This form of human,
Yeah.
you know, and it, you know, let alone being human at all,
Yeah.
and all that. And I just, you know, I've not had a child like a baby that close to Christmas to like.
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah,
think when-
that's a cool insight.
We had Abel in
Yeah,
August, and then when we hit that first Christmas, it was like, oh
Yeah.
man,
yeah,
like this is a different situation. Like,
yeah,
like pregnancy is tough.
yeah,
We
So
kinda-
Mary's perspective, and man,
yeah.
so.
Yeah, I have no perspective on that.
Yeah, in fact, some guy got uncomfortable yesterday because we were talking
I
about.
would not say that I got uncomfortable. I think that is an overestimation.
Okay.
I think I just came up to you and I was like, "Man, we talked a lot about pregnant women yesterday."
Uh-huh.
That was just it was just an observation. I was like, I don't think we've talked about.
And I said, yes, we're talking about Christmas.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
And then it was fully aware in the whole group that we were like, yeah, Christmas is about pregnancy.
That's literally Advent is about pregnancy.
I've literally done a Christmas series before that I titled "What to Expect When You're Expecting."
That's so good.
Hopefully those people who are a part of that are in the comments and they can fill us in.
Yeah, but I do love
That's
that
great,
insight
how they
because
felt.
like, you know, you do tend to disconnect a little bit. You know, you think about the manger, you think about you know the angels, but she was really just pregnant for 9 months. So like what we talked about happened in like what's 9 months from December? May?
Well, I mean, probably Jesus wasn't born in December. Like,
Okay, fair.
reality.
Fair. But I'm just saying
It
like
was definitely in the winter time when it was
length
snowing
wise.
and there was a Christmas tree out.
Definitely.
and it was all lit up and
Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah.
They had Christmas lights on the.
Candles in their windows.
But
Yeah.
but I'm just saying like in terms of time,
Uh-huh.
you know, like that was like we could have talked about this in May.
Yeah.
And been like, now's the time.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Like think about the anticipation that she had,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that
it's
was interesting.
people. I do think that it's easy to lose the pregnancy. I guess I hadn't put it together because we had kids so long ago
Yeah.
that I think that maybe I went through that reality back then.
Yeah.
But
I've never been through it.
yeah, you know, and there's 2 pregnancies, and I think a lot of people miss that too. Like there's 2 miraculous pregnancies
Yeah.
in the Christmas story.
Yeah.
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 Hopefully people caught that yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and one of them is the sign that the other one is real.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and so that's like to both parties, like to Zechariah, like, hey, the Christ is coming. Like that was a sign for him as well, that, you know, and to Mary, like, hey, you're pregnant, you know, and here's your sign.
Here's your sign.
You know,
Yeah.
and so
Man, it'd be hard to believe him though.
so that baby literally. So if you think about John's life, though, I think this is really interesting.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
there's only a few babies.
Oh, yeah.
When you read the Bible, this would be an interesting sermon series. There's only a few
Babies.
There's only a few babies who are set apart from birth. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? In the Bible, there's
Yeah.
a few
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
Samson's one.
Yeah, I was
Samson.
Yeah, there's a few.
Moses.
Yes,
So,
Moses.
well, I don't think in the announcement of his birth. There's
No.
like
Oh,
I think
yeah.
I can think of 3. Anyway, so there's
Samuel.
only a few that are set apart from birth. And what I think is interesting is John's role was to prepare the way for Jesus, and John prepared the way for Jesus even while he was in the womb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like from the moment of his conception,
What a
Yeah.
specific calling.
he leaped into his role.
Yeah.
You like that?
I did like it.
Jumping
I
in.
can appreciate that. Jumping out.
Yeah.
Such a weird image.
Yeah.
Man.
It's such a humble image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's true.
All right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's a
man.
peek behind the curtain of how sermon series get born.
Literally. Literally. Oh man. Yeah. So
Dude, the
next
puns right
year.
now.
Next year. No,
No,
I'm just kidding.
maybe
Maybe.
that could be a Christmas.
That could
series.
be a good.
That could be a Christmas series.
You talk about Samson and Samuel
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
the play on they're opposites of
Yeah.
each other. I don't know if you guys
Mm.
realize that.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right, guys. Well, we got to go.
Okay.
We got a staff meeting to get to. Thank you all for watching.
Yeah, we're glad that you guys are here, and we hope you have a great Monday.
Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.